Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching yet another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. It's Thursday night, and you know what that means. It's time for your TNA Event Center Wrestling Report. And now here's the man to give you that report, Mr. Eric M. Lima.
Why, thank you, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. Episode 1687 of the show. And it's my last video of the day. And as you know, we just got done like over an hour ago, or possibly over 45 minutes ago, we did our episode of Rant and Rave. I want to say to Jordan Little, a.k.a. Jordy Scout, get better, my man. Drink lots of fluids. Get some rest. That way you'll be strengthened up, and when you come back home, get some rest, and hopefully you'll do a chilling with Jordy stream. And I'm hoping to see you. So, hoping to see you there and talk to you a little bit. And like I said, I do apologize for not responding sooner because, like I've been busy, as you know, and I'm hoping that because when you have your own YouTube channel and YouTube show, you come up with ideas and all that. And tonight, I want to give a shout out to Philip Isaac's Rifle for giving me an idea of my next top of the Shenanigans charts episode, and that would be top 10 favorite cereals, personal top 10 favorite cereals of mine of all time. So I'm going to try to find out which ones I eat, trying to look up which ones I've eaten and how I rank them. So that's going to be a huge thing. I'm not going to do any tiers or anything like that. Those sorts of things. So be on the lookout. All right. Also, I hope you guys like my new thumbnail for the AEW Event Center. I know a lot of people have not been fanning of AEW. I'm trying to be a wrestling fan, not just a WWE mark or a WWE stan or something like all these internet buzzwords that kids like to use nowadays. And I'm not into that, so yeah. Yeah, so I'm like, okay. So, let's kick it off, shall we? What happened on TNA Impact, the fallout from Victory Road. As Alicia Edwards kicks off TNA Impact, whining and crying about how her, Tasha Steelz, and Monta Slamovich lost the Knockouts tag team titles. She calls out Monta Slamovich, very brave, with a woman with a neck brace on. Monta Slamovich comes out to confront Alicia Edwards, then Tasha Steelz, of course, attacks Slamovich. But then Jordynne Grace comes to the aid of Slamovich. But then Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers got themselves involved. And then all of a sudden, there comes the Hardys. Then Santino Marella and his lovely daughter, Ariana Grace, shows up, even though they are father and daughter in real life. And then Santino Marella had a matchup for the main event. Monta Slamovich teaming with the Hardys against the team of The System and Tasha Steelz. Meanwhile, Ariana Grace had an idea. It's next week a women's tag match as Wendy Chu from NXT and Rosemary join up against a team of Jordynne Grace and one of her best friends from NXT. Who that may be, I don't know. Is Gigi Dolan coming back from injury? Maybe. I really don't know. So, we'll find out. We'll find out next week who that young lady will be teaming up with Jordynne Grace. Meanwhile, Eric Young decided to give Josh Alexander some advice, because Eric Young has been where Josh Alexander is now. Maybe, hopefully spoke to him and is making him realize, hopefully he realizes to see the error of his ways. More on that situation. Meanwhile, Jordynne Grace and Monta Slamovich. Jordynne Grace says, hey, you and I had our history, but we respect each other. And we'll respect each other. If you want this title again, let me know. But then the Hardys gave both Jordynne Grace and Monta Slamovich praise, and they said we got to focus on this matchup tonight. And Monta Slamovich and others had an agreement. So, and Monta Slamovich tweeted a picture of her and Matt Hardy, and now her dream became a reality to team up together. Meanwhile, tag team action, Sinner and Saint took on First Class, the team of AJ Francis and KC Navarro. Now, I'm going to find out who Sinner and Saint do wrestling. The team, let's see. Yeah. All right, the team of Sinner and Saint, Judas Icarus and Travis Williams are Sinner and Saint. So they took on the team of First Class. AJ Francis and Casey Navarro filling in for Rich Swann while he's doing some rehab and doing some rehab on his alcohol. And First Class ended up picking the victory over the newcomers. Meanwhile, Mike Santana addresses Johnny Dango Curtis, a.k.a. JDC, about their upcoming Texas Death Match that will be happening later on. And Gia Miller interviewed Speedball Mike Bailey as he's excited about being X Division champion again and ready to defend his title against anybody at any time. Meanwhile, Steph DeLander talks to PCO, trying to calm him down after what Matt Cardona did to Steph DeLander. PCO's ticked off and, thinking in the back of his mind that Cardona's responsible for Steph DeLander's injury. And she's trying to calm him down. And hopefully, he says, you'll get Cardona. And she chose, for next week's match, pick a poison matchup, she chose Nick Nemeth. So, Matt Cardona and Nick Nemeth, that'll be a history maker. That'll be, they had a lot of history during their WWE days, when Matt Cardona was known as Zack Ryder, and Nick Nemeth was known as Dolph Ziggler. Meanwhile, Rhino went one-on-one with Matt Cardona in a regular wrestling match. It wasn't a hardcore matchup. When Rhino brought the chair into the ring, the referee trying to warn him about the chair, but then Matt Cardona grabbed the chair and took advantage and then blatantly hit Rhino in the back, losing by disqualification to Rhino. And then the lights went out after Cardona was attacking Rhino with a chair, and then PCO chokeslammed Cardona and then started beating up the chair, sending a message to PCO, and he's saying the chair is going to be you. Meanwhile, Spitfire was in action and decided to defend the tag team titles, and Ariana Grace came out and had Carly Bright and Kendall Gray from NXT to challenge them, and Spitfire, with their power and experience from Danny Luna and Jody Threat, retained the title against the two young upstarts from NXT. Carly Bright and Kendall Gray going to work on that back in NXT. Meanwhile, Heather Reckless talks to Georgia Iceman and Ash by Elegance, saying that she wants the makeover, she wants the whole deal. They said, we're busy, but we'll let you know, we'll get back to you. Which, when they act like that, they say, we're not going to talk to her. So, and then the Texas Death Match was happening between Mike Santana and JDC. And Mike Santana ended up winning the matchup, but then after the matchup, Moose attacks Santana from behind and talks a little trash to Santana. Meanwhile, Josh Alexander sees Judas Icarus and Travis Williams, a.k.a. Sinner and Saint, gave him some advice. And basically, is he using this as a facade to throw Eric Young off his game, or is he actually helping out the advice? Who knows? Josh Alexander's going to be a heel, probably recruit somebody and make a stable. Who knows for sure? It's anybody's guess about what Josh Alexander's up to. Meanwhile, Xia Li will make her Impact debut next week, but she's not going to go by that name, ladies and gentlemen. She'll be known as Lei Ying Li. That's right, Lei Ying Li will be coming to Impact, making her Impact debut next week as the first Chinese knockout in TNA history. So that's going to be pretty cool. Joe Hendry came out to address the Texas crowd. They're in Texas. Rick Ackberger was there with the sign, a.k.a. the sign guy. And he starts addressing about becoming a world champion. Frankie Kazarian interrupts Joe Hendry, saying he wants a shot at the title. Nick Nemeth tells Kazarian to shut his mouth and says and Nick Nemeth looks at Joe Hendry and says, there's big things for you, kid, on the horizon. So Santino Marella comes out and said, hey, I'll make a match between Joe Hendry and Frankie Kazarian. Whoever wins faces Nick Nemeth for the title at Bound for Glory. So there you go. Meanwhile, a 6-person tag match, Masha Slamovich will team up with her heroes, the Hardys. And before we go against the system, and that will be the tag team champions, Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers, along with Tasha Steelz. Now, if you notice Jeff Hardy's war paint for tonight, paying tribute to The Fiend, paying tribute to Wyndham Rotunda, a.k.a. Bray Wyatt, a.k.a. The Fiend. And that's a huge deal. So, for Jeff Hardy to do that, much respect. And here's to you and your brother. Okay? During the matchup, though, Alicia Edwards gets involved, and then Paige Prince Valley, the lovely referee, noticed it, and she goes, you're out of here. Ejected from ringside. Alicia Edwards saying, oh, no ways. But then ABC came out, grabbed Alicia, picked her up, and said, you're going to the back. And that kind of threw the system, and Tasha Steele's off. But the Hardys and Monster Slamovich ended up picking up the win. And that is it for episode 1687 of Eric Lima Shenanigans 1977 TNA Event Center for the 19th of September 2024. Fallout from Victory Road as we're going towards Bound for Glory. Thank you for tuning in. Tomorrow we get the game of strategy, luck, knowledge, and daring. Bullseye. Can't wait for that. And not only that, SmackDown on the USA Network. I'm excited. So, I'll see you guys later. You guys have a wonderful day. Also, we got AEW Rampage as well. I'll see you guys. Have a wonderful, blessed day. See you tomorrow. And until next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, take us home. Good night, everybody. That is all for today's episode. This is your announcer speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E, do it for Bob Saget Productions, and in association with a Raven Bofa Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching today's episode. Tune in next time for another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. Goodbye for now.